So let's look and see how you put your raw data onto the index. First of all, you'll access the website, put in your username and password, and this screen will come up for entering your raw data. As you can see on the top left-hand corner, the name of your company will be shown, and then the month of inputting that you're proposing to do is shown with the opportunity, the latest month that is, and if you click on there, then it shows all the previous months if you need to go back for one. Now, we've put a load of numbers in here already, but I want to just show you what happens by picking the first one out, the net profit. Now, almost inevitably, you'll have been able to put in a net profit figure, and I'm going to assume for this purpose that it's £25,000. Having put that number in, I am comfortable that's the right number, and I am therefore able to tick valid. Only tick valid when you're comfortable that the number is correct. Going down the list, those are in, they're correct, they're ticked, they're validated, but you'll see there's an answer down here at bad debt where the number showing is 0 and it is validated. That means that there is no bad debt provision or write-off that month. That is 0, and that is a correct answer. If, however, you had chosen not to write in what the bad debt figure was because for some reason you couldn't get hold of it, you didn't know what it was, you don't validate it because otherwise it's showing you as a 0 is the bad debt as opposed to not entered. All the way down to the bottom, and there's an example at the bottom, because as most of you will not be entering the turnover including VAT, the final input number, that is showing 0 because there is no number to input and it is not validated. When you've got all your information in, you're comfortable that they're correct, they're validated, then there will be showing here at the top an input check total. So when you collate your information, which most people do onto a spreadsheet before they go onto the website now to feed the numbers in, I suggest that you total the numbers that you've got. We know the numbers are different things, some are days, some are hours, some are percentages, some is money, doesn't matter, just total the numbers that you're feeding in, and this input check total will verify that you have got the same number as you expected to have. If for any reason you haven't, then it may be that you've transposed a number, just recheck them. Having got all those in, having validated, you are then able to press the update key if you want to put through your criteria. And as we have got, just to go back to bad debt, we've got a 0 there and it's a correct number, we validate it. Then we go up the top, we've checked our input check total is correct, we update, RIB takes a moment or two to update it, and then it is in a position for you to view criteria. What this now does is to show you the answers that you are going to have on your report for that month under actual. These are the actual calculated figures that you will have. And you'll see, if you go down to the bottom here, that there are some possibilities that you might have a number where this is showing, this icon at the bottom here, which is explained at the top as calculated criteria is outside of the normal range. Quite simply, to avoid or help to avoid erroneous inputs, if your input has produced a criteria that has taken an answer way outside the normal range, we identify that and flag it for you. Only if you're quite happy that that is definitely correct in your business that month, do you leave it in. Otherwise, you're in a position to go back to your raw data and check it and perhaps change the number and then update again. Now just let me show you how this works. If, for the sake of argument, going back to the raw data, we had, for whatever reason, chosen not to put in the net profit figure. Either we didn't know what it was, or we chose not to insert it, and we validated it, then it'll go in that your net profit is 0. But this isn't what we're saying. What you're saying is, I do not wish to, or I'm not able to put that figure in which case it's not validated. We update, and you'll notice that the figure at the top is 2,305,000. We've just taken 25,000 out of it. We go to view criteria, that number has gone down to 2280. And we go to view criteria, and there is no criteria 1 or 2 because both of those are figures that relate to net profit. Consequently, no input, no output. So let's just go back then to raw data. Let's put the £25,000 in. So having put in the 25,000 as the correct figure, I validate it. I now update, go through to view criteria, and net profit is back in criteria 1 and 2 because both of those relate to measurement of net profit. One other thing to add is that if perhaps you find subsequently and after the month end and after you put your RIB information in that there was an error in last month's accounts which you've now identified, you can go back into your RIB data and go back to the appropriate month, change the numbers, validate, update, and whilst it can't of course change the index ranking that you had previously with the incorrect figures in, it will now update your information so that going forwards it's correct.